Hello all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sara. I hope you are doing okay. I welcome you back to this my little corner of the world. This week I have been reading a bit of it's a book from Wassily Kandinsky, and it's called From Spiritual. The English version is Concerning the Spiritual in Art. I have been reading this book for a few weeks now. I have been reading it very slowly, and I am enjoying it very much because it's not just the artist's artist's view of the world, because Kandinsky was a painter, so he connects not just painting but other arts, and he kind of tries to find a connection between all arts and explain how other artists in other fields deal with their creative processes, and how the spiritual part, because in those days they were highly spiritual, and try to find the soul in everything that they made, and it's been an enjoyable reading, but a slow reading as usual for me, especially because I love to take notes and to highlight stuff, so usually it takes me a lot of time, because it's not just what I'm reading but the ideas that I want to make sure I don't lose when I'm reading it. So it's been fun. I had a kind of rest weekend. I have been near nature, and that's always nice, and it's always good to recharge a bit. On this week's vlog I'm also talking to you a bit about NaNoWriMo, how this challenge is going, and what are my thoughts about it at this point. I'm a bit confused about some things, but you will hear about them later on in the video. It has been a bit of writing, a bit of reading, a bit of cozy activities, but especially a bit of opportunities. So I'm trying to keep my mind open about some things regarding my current writing project, which I will be talking about it later. And this has been making me feel a bit anxious about things, and we have Christmas coming, so I'm kind of getting behind on other projects that I have to do, that I have no other choice but to do them. So it's been a strange but fun week, so I hope you stick around and see what I'm talking about ahead. this is the part of this video where I want to talk about NaNoWriMo, about the writing experience for November. I'm doing NaNoWriMo. I have been talking about it on the last videos. I have made some notes of things that I want to say. At this point, I can already make some overview of how this challenge is going, and I am feeling I have contradictory feelings about it because today I am almost finishing my project, this draft. I have achieved the 50k on the 13th of this month, which I have talked to you about in the last video. And then I got experiencing something kind of new to me, because I don't think it's new. I just think I never gave it the proper appreciation. So one thing that it's the fear of ending. So I saw the ending approaching. I was writing the final scenes for this book. I know I have a lot of work ahead of me, and I do want to write more on some specific scenes, because I'm quite usually my drafts are always too cut to the chase, too simple, and then I add other layers and other details that I had thought about it, but when I put it on the page, they don't come out the way I want to. So I have a few scenes to rewrite and a few scenes to add, but I'm getting pretty nervous because it's the 23rd and I feel that I have already exhausted this draft. I had a plan, I had scenes, I had planned the major events. I had already done 2 drafts of the story. What I figured was that I would be able to write I will be able to write and to achieve the 100k mark, because I wanted to have some wiggle room to cut some things out up ahead when editing the text, but this didn't happen. So I'm currently at the 77 mark, and even if I write a few more scenes, because it does need some things tuned up, it will not get to the 100k. It's impossible, but that's okay. So it was a goal, but it was a not well-defined goal. So I thought I had material through all of that, but no, because I guess I was mixing up the second book of the series with this one, and now I decided to do some things a bit differently. So but that's okay. So I will not be doing the 100k this November. Now I have NaNoWriMo still ongoing. I don't know if I will be able to continue writing for this specific book, so because I will not achieve the daily count for the NaNoWriMo challenge. So what I have been doing is I have been studying my options. So I have been thinking about how I can be successful at this challenge, but at the same time do productive work. So I have been thinking about it, and I'm a bit nervous because for one side of it, I can start editing and finish writing those scenes that I think needs to be worked on at this time, but I don't know if I will be able to achieve my daily count, so that's a problem. Or I can move on to the plot of the second book, and I can start writing about it and trying to make things more specific, not just the main ideas that I had for the project, but okay, so that means starting a new process, a new writing process, that it's not just write but to imagine things and to plan things to work ahead. I'm not emotionally prepared for this. I'm having a difficult time in choosing what I'm going to do next. I have been spending a lot of more hours working on this project, on the first book of this series, but because I'm unsure of what I'll be doing next, so I will take my time and read it and rewrite it and tune up small things. But I have been doing this for 2 days already, and I just need to make a choice. And this poses a problem, which is one of the goals for this year's NaNoWriMo was to get all the badges, so they have a small fun activity where you have some milestones, and when you achieve them you get a badge. At this point I had achieved all the badges except 2 of them. One is update every day because it's still the 23rd and then it ends on the 30th, and the second is hit daily count every single day. So that's why I'm kind of worried with the daily count, because at this point I will not have much material to do my daily count. I wanted to do kind of an overview of how this challenge went so far, because I'm feeling that it is quite almost finished, so it's some residual things that are missing, but and that I'm delaying because I'm nervous, because I don't want to face the next step of this project. But I can already talk to you about some things that I felt. So first, it was great fun to work on this project. It had started in another form, in another language, and I thought that maybe that would put some restraints in my work, and I would not be able. That's a truck outside. It was fun to work on this project. I have managed to do some things that I didn't thought were possible, not with the fast pace that I wanted, so I thought that I would be having much more trouble writing in English than I really did. I have a lot of tuning to do, because I have to polish all those words and all those phrases that didn't come out the way I expected them to. But that's editing, that's not writing. I thought I would be a lot more slower writing in English, and that didn't happen. So it was fun. It was an experience that I had been dreading for some years, but clearly it didn't happen. So, and I'm quite happy with it. So I have learned so much with this project, not just writing, because I already have a kind of a style in my writings, but it's for my Portuguese writing, so I usually have some way of putting things that are my own, that are very usual for me, and I use them, and I know how to put things. And in English I didn't have that background, so I kind of was looking my way into this draft, into the phrases, into the things, how I wanted to say things. So I learned a lot. It was a good experience. I have identified some things that I have to work on. It hasn't all been roses. I have picked out some thorns also, and I am currently thinking about how to solve those problems, how to work on them, and try to make this draft the best it can be, and try to solve these issues, not just for this draft, but on my own writing. And another thing that I think I had already shared with you, but that's it's never too much to say again. I have been doing this project, and I have been working on it for I don't know, almost 2 years, and I noticed that we can do a better and faster job at writing a draft if we have almost everything planned out. We have scenes, we have plans, we have scene plans, we have point of view, we have characters, we have even small details about the characters and the story. It really helps when we sit down to write, because everything is kind of already thought of. It's not new, and while we are working our story, we can rely on that knowledge that we already have and use it in our story and use it in the text in the best way we can find. So it's not okay, let's imagine this and then put it in here. We have a bit of that also, but it's different because you already know the basics and you already know what the characters are feeling and how they think about each subject and how that affects their way of speaking, their way of relating to others, the way of fixing the problems that they get themselves into. So it's planning helps a lot on the writing part. Now I'm back to the drawing board, so I guess you will be seeing a bit of more footage on my kitchen where I have set up my drawing board for this project. So I'm planning on revising the plans for the series, for the 3 books. It's a trilogy. I need to plot some things ahead so I can do this first book better. and that's what I'm going to do. As for NaNoWriMo, I still don't know. I guess I will be adding those scenes that I'm missing, and then maybe I will start working on the more creative bits of the process and count them in this word count. I do not know. Let's see how I can manage to solve this. So it's creative work also. Some novelty here. Today I'm experimenting my new microphone. We kind of went old school for this one. It's beautiful, I love it, and it's a desk microphone, so it's not a camera mounted microphone, which would be helpful because of all the cables that this one has to have connected to different hardware, but that's okay. I am quite enjoying it. Let's see if the sound quality gets better or if I have to tune some things in another way, but for now I am quite happy with it. Well, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you leave a comment below if you have something to say or to ask. I will be glad to read the comments and to reply. I hope you enjoy it. I hope everything is well over there, and that November has been a great month to you. So thank you so much and see you next week. Bye bye.